In this video, we are going to be creating autumn beauty. I'm going to share with you guys 5 ways to slow down and savor autumn beauty for busy moms using the 5 senses trick, which I'll talk more about in a moment. This will be a 2-part series. In this video, we're going to focus on creating beauty and noticing beauty that you can see and feel. I'll show you some of the beautiful thrifted autumn finds that I scored at our thrift store. I've got a surprise. I did a kitchen makeover. So I thought that we would do some cozy fall kitchen decorating, but that is far from all. I have some feel-good fall inspo for you, including some really nice recipes to try. I'm a bigger family mama with a farm and I home educate my children, plus I have a part-time job. And I've been asked how I get things done, so we're going to talk about that a little bit. And I've got a couple new dresses to show you guys. I also got some girl talk. I've been asked about my skincare, my makeup routine, the supplements I take, lipsticks, and nail polish are my kryptonite. My girl power kryptonite, y'all. This stuff, guys, this is it. So stick through to the end for all of the autumn feels inspiration. I want you to think about something for a moment. God created the seasons. He created so much beauty in each one of them. When you consider just a few of the intricate details in each and every season, it's truly awe-inspiring. Ask yourself this: why would he have gone through all of the attention to the details if he didn't want us to notice them? Romans 1:20 reads, "For since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature have clearly been seen, being understood from what has been made, so that people are without an excuse." Hey, little guy. It seems to me that the seasons are something God created that he wanted us to truly savor and find pleasure in. There are so many things to notice this time of year that just have a different beauty about them. I always notice around September the light shines a little differently through the trees. Colors that start to pour forth are some of my very favorite colors. I love all the warm colors, yellows, reds, oranges. A lot of mornings there's an extra crisp chill in the air. And of course, my very favorite thing of all are the foods that are pouring in from the garden. It's strange how bringing in food from the garden and preparing it for the winter ahead and the future brings a feeling of nostalgia and just feels relic somehow. There's just something so earthy yet freeing about it. But alas, you're a very busy mom, and the last thing you need is one more thing to do. I get it. The coming of autumn for me is a time that for the past several years has brought quite the hefty to-do list. For the last several years, it's been really difficult to soak in the beautiful sides of homemaking. Ever since I reached the stage where my older kids started entering and now graduating high school, there has just been a shift in my spirit, a sense of urgency, priority, and attention to final details as I finish off graduating and trying to point my older children in the right directions, and as I pray, they stay on the path of walking with the Lord. This year, though, I really wanted to find a way to, of course, cover my responsibilities, but also truly savor the season. It is going to take intention on my part, but I would really like to be able to do this. So, as I was considering how I was going to do this, I remembered the 5 senses trick that I told you about in a previous video. So I sat down and I figured out ways using the 5 senses to soak in some of the goodness of autumn. Right now, I am working part-time, managing our home, our homestead, parenting 6 kids total, and home educating 5 of them. My oldest just graduated. Things like creating autumn beauty, I'm so out of practice because things like this have been so far off my radar and priority list for so long that I only vaguely remember a time when this season was approached with wonder and excitement. But I think I came up with a good plan. So I'm going to focus on ways to use taste, smell, the sense of touch or feeling, and also feeling peace internally. I'm going to focus on things that we can see that will help us enjoy the season, of course. And lastly, things that we can hear. And this is the whole process of using the 5 senses to truly soak in and be in the moment. Have you ever thought about how in the Bible there are so many verses that encourage us to focus on the present? Some verses that help calm my spirit when the things like the autumn to-do lists feel so heavy that it can be hard to enjoy life, include the following verses. Matthew 6:34. So do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. So let's focus on some ways we can use the senses of sight and feelings to help us enjoy and live in the moment this autumn. Of course, the first one is with feel-good comfort foods like this recipe that will be up on the blog, my black beans with rice and chimichurri sauce. We'll get more into foods in part 2 in this series though. Another way is to just spruce up your spaces with fall decorations. Now, if you just had a baby, I recommend you ignore this tip. Otherwise, the decorations are likely to be up all the way into next spring. So this is gonna definitely depend on the phase of life that you're in and the stage you're in, or this season, should I say. A couple tips that I have are don't break the bank. You can find lovely fall decor secondhand thrifted, and that's what I did. This is my little autumn box. As you can see, I have very little when it comes to fall decor. This is it, all that you see in this box here. And I honestly do not know that I paid more than $20 over the course of probably 8 to 9 years for everything in this box. If you're on a really tight budget, you can literally go out into nature and get things that you find from outside. And I showed you guys how to do that, or how I did that last year in my autumn video, which I'll link to below. A third little trick. This is one you can use for every season. You can usually find mugs pretty cheap. At least I did. Mugs are a great way to accentuate holiday seasons, and you need them anyway, so it's not like they're clutter taking up space. My May decor, of course, is garden produce and the flowers from the garden. Maybe you guys saw my boho kitchen tour where I got my new island. I think it was that video I talked about how I left the island a little bit larger than what is customary, and I did that for a few reasons. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm really glad I left the island bigger because I need it for all of this harvest. The kitchen and my island is starting to get full with all kinds of harvest goodies from the garden. Harvest has been late this year, but I'm glad to have one at all. A lot of people that I know don't really have one because their gardens weren't worth keeping through all of the crazy weather this last summer. Okay, so decorating, even if it's minimally, even if it's only with the harvest items that I'm pulling in from outside, like these hops, just the sight and feel of things like this. If you stop and soak it in and see the beauty and feel the gratitude, this can really help you feel like celebrating fall. There's one more thing that helps me feel like celebrating seasons, and it's changing up my nails and wearing colors that represent the season. Of course, you will find me in oranges and rusts and mustard all through the year because I absolutely love those colors. Always feels a little bit more in place wearing them in the autumn season though. I usually always get my dresses secondhand. Lately, I have been loving thredUP. thredUP is a massive online resource for clothing. They are debatably a sustainable company where I've been finding super affordable and even brand name clothing. I'll share a link below where you can get 45% off your first order plus free shipping and a $40 credit when your order ships. Here is another secondhand score dress. I got it for just a few bucks and it is practically brand new. Definitely in new condition. It's an Old Navy brand, I believe. It's slightly big, but it will be nice to wear different clothing underneath for layering, especially through the cold winter months. So it's not going to be just an autumn dress. Since we're talking about feelings, let's talk about feeling organized. I know a lot of people out there like to do a fall cleaning, as do I. But in this busy season of life, I don't get to do quite as thorough of a fall cleaning as what I used to do back when I only had a couple kids and when they were all really little. I did film a fall cleaning video for you guys. In that video, I'm sharing some areas I like to focus on when I am strapped for time. A couple additional things that I like to do with our fall cleaning time though is I love to get the blankets cleaned and on the line. There's just nothing like going into winter with really clean blankets.
Just gallivanting through the forest here with my laundry.
Another area that I like to get organized as we're going into the autumn season and the winter season is the pantries. I really like to know what I'm going into winter with food-wise, and I like to have a few things stocked because, well, we live on a mountain and sometimes I do get snowed in. Third area I like to get organized in, starting now, is I have a larger family and Christmas seems like a long ways away, but it really isn't. So I like to start shopping and getting Christmas presents early so that it's not one big expense all at once in December or in November. If you're having trouble getting organized and getting your whole family on the same page, I highly suggest getting just a home management binder. This is a little A5 size, I think we call it. You can do a big one, I prefer that, but these are really pretty. They're not unattractive to have laying around the house, and they were affordable, very affordable. I will link to them below. But what I like to do is I like to have a daily cleaning list here. I have an upstairs cleaning and a downstairs cleaning because we have an upstairs and a downstairs. But basically, essentially, the point is make a list of all of the house cleaning activities that need to be done on whatever basis you like to do them, whether it's weekly or monthly. Have the running checklist in here in a binder where the whole family can go and get it. So once I started this, we started getting the upper and the lower floors of our home cleaned in a couple hours. Before, it used to take half the day because people would be like, well, you know, I don't really know what to do. You would think after the family as a whole group cleaning the house for like 6 years together, eventually they would get it, but they don't. So, okay. So that's where this comes into play. Once I did this and I wrote down all the things that need to be done on the top floor, all the things that need to be done on the bottom floor, kids, everybody just tackles this. They come get it. They pick whatever they want to do from the list and they go do it. And we get done in like 2 hours, and then they have the rest of the weekend. We started doing this on Saturday, so then they have the rest of the weekend or the day for free time and fun time. This helps me to feel just a whole lot less frazzled and more like the things that need to be done are done, and they were done with way less chaos and a lot more peace. And another way that I like to feel organized is with this. This is my planner. I want to talk to you about undated planners because I know a lot of people say that they don't know how to utilize a planner as a stay-at-home mom or homemaker. This is where undated planners, I feel like, come into play. Throughout my homemaking journey, there will be weeks when I'm better about planning and weeks when I'm not. And I just really can't stand it when there's a whole section of the planner, or sometimes like a whole month, where I didn't really get to sit down and do very much goal setting or planning. Sometimes I'm able to get a lot done just by, going by the seat of my pants. But generally speaking, I get a lot more done when I have some set goals that have been written down. And always, I feel better and more organized when I have written down and gotten everything out of my head that is bogging me down or that is just overwhelming my brain. This is a planner that I worked with a designer to create. It's actually got a section called a brain dump section where you can just get everything out of your head that keeps flying through your mind, everything that you're constantly going, oh, I need to do that, and I need to do that, I need to do that. I've got a spot where you can just write it, like a running list. You can take that paper out and you can put it on the next month if you didn't get it all done that previous month. My planner has all kinds of customizable little sections that you can use however you want. You do have to write the dates in. And the reason that I did that is so that you wouldn't have weeks and weeks where there's a date written in and you forgot to do any planning, or you didn't have time to do planning, or you just simply didn't plan for that week. You can just reuse those pages. They don't go bad, they don't expire like a dated planner does. Wanted to show you guys this. This is a calendula oil infusion. So as we go into the fall months and then the winter months, dry skin. And I like making my own lotions and infusions. So I have a whole video coming out soon, or maybe it will have already been published, I'm not sure, but it's going to be out soon if it's not already. And in it, I'll show you guys how I make all of the lotions. And one of my favorite things is the lotion bar. It's hard to enjoy any season at all if you don't feel good, or if you feel like you don't look good. Since we're talking about the senses of sight and feelings, I thought this would be the perfect time to answer a couple more subscriber questions. I have been asked about my makeup and skincare routine. I've had a few people comment on my lipsticks. I love Southern Magnolia mineral lipsticks, so I've got a couple of them here, and I love the natural colors that they are. Okay, so this is, I think, plum, winterberry here. What I love about their lipsticks is that they're really creamy, they're long lasting, and they don't dry your lips out. Another thing that is nice about them is the colors. They go with so many different skin tones. And I think that that's kind of normal for mineral makeup. Some other colors that you'll see me wear in some of my videos though are the matte red. It is drying. I don't recommend it as highly as I do the other ones that are vitamin E infused. Another color that I love is the apricot. I lost it. I lost my apricot lipstick. I can't find it anywhere. Nob Hill Red is a fun one, especially around Christmas time. I also love the Perfect Plum and I'm looking at my phone, the Plum Wine. Ultimately Lavender is another favorite. And of course, lastly, the Winterberry that I just showed you guys. As you can tell, I have a little bit of a thing for lipsticks and nail polish. I don't wear mascara very often, and the reason why is because I have a Hashimoto's hypothyroidism, and I get really puffy under my eyes and over my eyes sometimes. And so if I wear mascara, it oftentimes, especially in videos, it seems like it always happens in videos, but it will turn black under my eyes. So I don't wear it very often. But I do wear eyeliner, and I wear it above my eyes. There's all kinds of tutorials and reasons why you should wear it above your eyes instead of below. And there's different techniques for wearing it below your eyes. I highly recommend looking up tutorials and videos specific to your age. Colors and techniques for applying makeup in my 20s were very different from the way I needed to start applying makeup in my 30s, and then it changed again in the 40s. I'm sure it'll change again each decade that I age. But as your face matures and ages, you'll find that things that used to work like 5 years prior don't work anymore. And I find it is around 5 to 8 years, every 5 to 8 years, something changes and I need to adjust the way I wear makeup. And as far as skin creams, I have a new skin cream that I honestly cannot highly recommend enough. And here's the best part. There are 0 questionable ingredients in it. It is completely natural, non-toxic, and I know all of this because I made it. You guys, this stuff and the smell, oh my gosh, the smell. It's roses. Oh, it's lovely. Okay, I made this. I will be sharing the recipe in that video that I was just telling you guys about. So if you want to know how I made this, you're going to want to look for this video coming out. I will link to it in the cards. This is the video you want to look for, you guys. I changed the cover on that, the thumbnail, to a thumbnail that actually has my face in it, because it seems like when I do a thumbnail like that, nobody clicks on it, but if it's got my face, everybody clicks on it for some reason. I don't get that, but okay. My skin has never loved a lotion. I was using some that were more expensive. Like, I bit the bullet and I bought one of those $40 face creams where you get just, you know, like a little bit. I bought it. I wasn't a fan. I'd been using it for probably 2 or 3 months and I was not a fan. I've honestly been looking for a good skin cream for about 1 year to 2 years now, because I loved the Face Me, but I didn't like having to order it all the time. Face Me is a great brand if you don't want to make your own. I love the Face Me products. I have never found a cream that works as well as this, and it is not breaking my skin out, so it's non-comedogenic. Is that the right word? I think. It smells great. My skin is just absolutely hasn't looked this good over 1 year. This stuff, guys, this is it. This is it. This is it. All right, and then because I know that some people are also going to be asking about what I use for my hair, I've been loving the Shea Moisture Frizz-Free Curl Mousse lately. So my hair, well, let me just put it this way. My dad had an afro back when afros were popular, but he didn't go get it done. He naturally had afro hair. And that is what my hair does. With the thyroid issues and the Hashimoto's, I've been losing a lot of hair, but if I were to like comb out my hair, you would never know because it would be like poof. Anyways, this stuff helps tame the curls and hold them more tightly. And this has been my absolute favorite #1 hair product in ages. For ages, I've been looking for something for so long, and this has been my favorite. Oh, okay. No parabens, no phthalates, no phthalates. No mineral oil, no animal testing, no petroleum. Okay, so there may be alcohol in it. I don't know, but it works. It works really good. I honestly did not think that my hair was healthy anymore. I thought that because I'm going through perimenopause, I thought that I lost the shine. I thought that I lost just healthy hair. And I didn't realize it was just a lot of the products I was using that were not suiting my hair. And I love that with this, it's just one product. That's all I have to put on after I get out of the shower. So I get out of the shower, my hair's sopping wet. I don't really dry it very much. I just squeeze a little bit of the moisture out, put that stuff on. It gives me really together, nice, gorgeous, bouncy, shiny curls. Lipsticks and nail polish are my kryptonite. My girl power kryptonite, y'all. But I will say one thing about the nail polish. When you're a homemaker and your hands are in dishwater constantly, it wears your nails out and it breaks them down until they're very thin eventually. Some people have more issues with that than others. I have issues with it. If I don't put something on my nails, I would probably have no nails in like 6 months time because my nails get super bendy anyways, and they've always been super bendy. So they break and they chip and they shred and they peel. So if I don't put anything on them, it becomes quite painful. The nail polish isn't just vanity reasons. It's actually got a purpose to it. The lipstick, yeah, that's just vanity. I've also been asked about my supplement routine. I don't know at what age supplements start to become more important. Maybe definitely by the age 40 mark, but I think it actually started more like when I was around 33 to 35. I started noticing a difference when I would take certain supplements. So today I will also show you some supplements that have been some of my favorite women's supplements to help me feel good and especially feel good through the winter months. D3 Women's Multivitamin Lysine. I also take selenium for my thyroid. I've got magnesium glycinate, Cal Mag Blend back here. I have a beautiful hair and nails from Azure Standard B12, enzymes, liver and colon support here, digest and cleanse. This is one I started taking at night. I notice a big difference. This I feel like helps support happier moods. So those are just a few of the supplements that I take that make a really big difference. It seems like a lot. I know it really seems like a lot, but they make the difference between me being able to function. Oh, got really bright all of a sudden. Being able to function. Just like, okay, between being able to function and not feeling like I can function optimally. When I am not taking my supplements, there is such a noticeable difference that honestly, when I'm not taking them, I feel like I've got brain fog. I have zero energy and I am moodier. That isn't even all of the supplements. I've got more. You can see this is my herb shelf behind me. I've got some herbs that I take as well. Now, a lot of these teas are just pleasure teas like peppermint, chamomile, things like that are just enjoyable to drink, but there are some that are more targeted. I definitely highly recommend finding a functional naturopathic doctor that is versed in more holistic methods, especially as you start to go through the change. All right, maybe some of you saw a while back, I was debating on whether or not to whitewash one of the walls in the kitchen. One of the reasons was it's just so much wood. I mean, this is a log house and it's just, solid wood wall to wall in so many areas. I was pretty crazy about the log wood walls in the kitchen and I really did love the look, but I felt like white might help really brighten up the back wall and just kind of give the kitchen a little bit more of a clean feeling. And I was right. I was glad I did it. So I used about 4 cups of water and 2 cups of paint. And I used this coconut color paint from Walmart. We just started back to school. Terrarium.
You can make your own kind of ecosystem.
Wait a minute. Are you planning on putting snakes in it?
No. Oh, well,
I don't want snakes in the house. I don't want snakes in a terrarium tank in the house.
I know.
So there's a little peek into the world of homeschooling for sons. I do have daughters as well, but they don't request things like containers to hold snakes inside the house. Whitewashing this wall did not take long at all. I was able to get it done after lessons. Now comes the fun part, putting everything back in place. And here is the after. I am literally appalled at how much cleaner it makes the kitchen feel and look. And I really love how it brightened up that side of the room. This last chapter is for the home educating parents out there, especially those that are feeling overwhelmed with the season starting. I'm a second generation home education parent, and I've been at this for 15 years. We prefer year-round homeschooling with only about a month off in the summer. During that month, we still do some reading and a little math. This makes it easier to get back into the regular routines. But in addition to that, we also like to ease into a new homeschool year. We started early around the first week of August with just some gentle schooling in the morning, and we build up from there basically. This gives the kids plenty of time to still enjoy what's left of summer. It gives me time for harvest. If you would like more homeschooling tips and tricks, I do have a whole separate channel that I just started specifically for this purpose. I'll link to it in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you come back for part 2, where we're going to be focusing on the tastes and smells of autumn.